The board is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present, and we have a room full of guests. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, great. We do have an employee recognition. I'd like to ask, let's see, Commissioner Kenyon, do you have the synopsis there to read to the record? And
Yeah.
do we have David? Are you in this? Are you in the audience?
Simo, where's Simo?
Simo, stand up. Stand up.
Surprise!
There you go. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Commissioner Kenyon.
I'm gonna read this, and then you. Yeah, yeah, you are.
We try.
All right. So, can I call you Simo?
You Simo or Dave.
Simo. How about Simo Dave?
Simon Davis.
Okay. So
This is on the
Simo.
record, right?
This is on the record. Yes, so I'll get it correct.
You
Okay.
can watch it on YouTube.
Simo began his journey as a public defender in October of 1997. He was on a rotation with Tony, handling child protection cases for 6 months and then misdemeanor criminal cases for 6 months. He eventually matriculated to the prelim team and then onto felony calendar, where he has remained for the remainder of his career. Tony, did you write this, Tony? Where he remained for the remainder.
Probably, if there are typos, it's probably him.
That's why I looked right at him. Most recently, Simo has been on the specialty courts team handling drug, mental health, and veteran court matters. He is one of the few remaining public defenders who were hired in the 90s. Raise your hand if you were hired in the 90s. Outside of work, Simo is known for several things. First, he drives Subaru Outbacks, period. Always has, always will. He is a Subaru guy. Hey, all my girlfriends do too.
Whoa.
This was recognition on the road.
It is.
Second, he is a Cubs fan. Nothing really more to say here. Third, Simo is extremely frugal and financially savvy. He saved his first nickel he ever earned and easily has more money than any other member of the public defender's office. True? Fourth, Simo is a world-class kayaker. Now this one I scratched my head about just pure common sense. He doesn't look it, but he is legit. He's done some of the gnarliest water in the world with some of the best kayakers around. Get this, he once hiked with his kayak on his back some 20-some miles into remote wilderness in California to paddle a particularly dangerous river in the Sierra Nevadas. Going over a waterfall, he broke his wrist, left his kayak there, and hoofed it back in the dark to civilization and a hospital. Really?
True story.
Simo is a true public defender. He championed the cause of the underprivileged and downtrodden in our society for many years. Whether at work or in his personal life, Simo will give you the shirt off his back if you need it more than he does, even if you need it more than he does. A good lawyer, a good person, and a good friend. Congratulations.
Is there anyone who would like to speak for us, Simo?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
They don't wear out.
told me yesterday that he's like, I could just be replaced tomorrow. You're welcome.
Well, you got to say something.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this speech. Was it? I didn't even see an email.
You look like you're thinking it's entirely too early.
No. What is this?
We're going to give you a recognition award.
Seems
25
like
years.
it seems like it was 20, like less than 5 years ago.
It probably was. If you'd like to come up, and anybody that want to join with
Yep,
us, and we'll give
everybody come
you
on.
the award. Anybody?
Let's do it with the commissioners first, then we'll have everybody
Come on
else.
up, anybody? And
Congratulations.
okay.
That was awesome, Tony.
Yeah.
Good setup.
Yes. Thank you for attending our meeting. You can be excused now. Well, we lost half our group. More than half. Okay. Next up, we have three reappointments. These are reappointments to the Parks, Open Space, and Trails Advisory Board for terms to expire 9/30/25. These are reappointments. It's for Chris Miller, Eric Rich Plotkin, and Chuck Bertries. I'll accept a motion.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion. I serve with both of them on the Parks Board, and they're doing a good job. So I would move to approve the three volunteer board reappointments as listed on the agenda with the terms of expiration as specified.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, under new business, we have a change order. Change order number 1, Ada County Jail Air Handlers, Boilers, RTU Replacement 2021. A decrease of $2,800. That is nice. You want to tell us about that?
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, this is a project that's been going on for about 2 years, multi-lead time. Key components are included. This past week, we had a $40,000 contingency for unforeseen conditions at $2,800 $2,818.43 was unused contingency, and that'll get back to the chair.
Okay. I guess we need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve change order number 1 as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have licenses. Do we have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, move to approve the licenses as listed on the agenda, including 8 catering permits, 2 new licenses, and authorize the chairman to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have with us our ever-distinguished clerk, Mr. Begrain.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. We've got a good handful of things going on in the clerk's office right now. As you, I think if anybody is aware, you are acutely aware right now. There's an election underway. We have mailed out just over 32,000 absentee ballots so far. This is actually, I had Anthony look into the numbers because this is way up compared to what we've seen in the past for an election like this. I think it is a reflection of some of the shift post the 2020 election and the pandemic, people getting more comfortable with absentee voting. Most of these, about 25,000 of them, are from people who voted by absentee in the primary and then also requested it for the general election. So we're just seeing that continuation. But it is interesting just kind of to see the overall numbers of who's requesting them. A few are starting to come back. We have just over 1,000 so far that have come back to us. So voting is well underway. We are approaching, I believe, Friday. Let me think this through. Maybe it's the following Friday, but the registration cutoff is coming up here quickly. I can't think of which Friday it is. It's one of these Fridays coming up, the next two. Is the 25 days before the election. It must be next Friday. Sorry. That is coming up. So Saul and team, I think things are on a good track right now. Our main focus at the moment is actually just recruiting poll workers. We're still trying to get that finalized. It's going well. We've had technical issues. I know that sounds strange when I talk about recruiting poll workers, but the software that we use to manage the poll workers has had a bunch of hiccups. And so that has caused communication issues with us. So it's not that we don't have them. We've had a couple temps that are making phone calls to past poll workers because that seems to be the best way to reach them right now. So that's going well. It's just cumbersome. Right. So working through that, but everything's on track, and I think we should be proud. I think, we've had this in the past, but not to compare ourselves, but Canyon County sent out a press release earlier this week strongly encouraging people to vote absentee, and in large part they're struggling to find polling places and poll workers, and we're in much better shape. We didn't have lines in the primary. They did. I think we're on track for things to run smoothly. The addition of the new precincts was a good thing for the community. And so, things are going well there. Also, we are assisting the city of Boise right now in their redistricting efforts for city council districts. So we've been providing some advice and assistance to them in that process. And then finally, on a different note, because you guys have been tracking along, we're all set. Things are going pretty smoothly. I think you got an update last week from Trent and Katie, but Mythics is scheduled to be in the building this week with a kind of a kickoff conversation with all the various departments and stuff that are impacted by it.
We've got the contract coming up.
The contract coming up on the agenda. But we should be ready to get people start getting their hands dirty and working on the new financial system.
Okay. Any questions for our clerk?
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have next on the agenda some personnel actions.
Claims journal. Claims journal.
Claims journal.
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
I move to authorize payment of claims on the claims journal dated September 30th, 2022.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have next personnel actions.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the personnel action forms as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
Second that?
Okay, yeah, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have with us our distinguished assessor.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Not a lot to report. The appraisers are out in the field taking advantage of this great weather to get all of their physical inspections taken care of. Things are going well at motor vehicles. For some reason, some inexplicable reason, we've been getting tons of comment cards. We have cards that the public can fill out and send to the office or hand delivered to us. I used to get maybe 25 in a 2-week period. I'm now getting about 50 to 70 in a week. And they're all just great comment cards. It's just, I've just moved here from California, and I never would have imagined motor vehicle services would be like this. And I'll bring some of those with me next week, just to let you know what people are saying. And then also those nice comments that are kind of original. We will post those on our website, what people are saying about motor vehicles.
Great.
That's the good news. The bad news is we have 88 tax cancellations coming up. Just checking with the assistant supervisor that oversees this, she said there are about 250 more that will be coming in. We're working very diligently to get this all out in time for the treasurer's office to get their work done. So that's everything from the assessor's office, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
Okay, thank you. And we'll take up the tax cancellations, which are really not cancellations, but they are an adjustment.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the 88 tax cancellations as listed on the agenda for 2022 and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And now we have with us our distinguished treasurer, Beth Ma.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
morning.
Commissioners.
Morning.
Pretty much business as usual for being month end and year end. So our finance team is busy working on that, all of the reporting for year end, working closely with the clerk's office on that. And then as the assessor noted, we're working really hard on these tax cancellations. I appreciate their efforts to push those through to you and then to us, because the more that we do now before we bill, that adjustment is reflected on the tax bill. Any that are delayed until after that time, it's going to be more confusing to escrow and to the taxpayer knowing that adjustment. So I really appreciate the assessor's office and pushing those through, and you approving them, getting them to us so that we can bill accurately. I'm hoping to bill on approximately November 5th or 6th, start the process then. And it'll take about 7 to 10 days. So that's it.
Okay. Okay,
A lot of adjustments.
lots of adjustments.
How many will it be this year by the time you're finished?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, 1,200 maybe?
Jeez,
I really don't have a feel. It is going to be a large number again.
yeah, over 1,000.
Okay, well,
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beth?
Thank you. Next, we have approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda. Authorize the chair to sign documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have 3 interim agreements from Expo Idaho. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the 3 interim event agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now we have agreements, 1 ratification and 24 new agreements. Is there any discussion or issues with any of the agreements? I've read them all, not in great detail, but I did read the.
No, Mr. Chair, we did have a meeting in great detail on
Yes.
agreement 14890.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I think if there's any discussion, it would be around that agreement.
yes, we did have a detailed discussion on 14890. Would you like to add anything to that, as much as your office is somewhat involved?
Nothing. I think we're eager to get going. As I mentioned in the update, we have mythics coming in. I think, as you probably are aware, we've learned a lot from some of the past projects working with Steve O'Meara and his team. Katie's here to answer any questions, if there are any.
And this includes the incentive
Yep.
program. This is the updated one that we did see a couple of days ago. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Make a motion?
Okay, I'll accept the motion.
Yep, Mr. Chair, I move to approve and ratify agreement. That's not it. Yeah, here it is. I move to approve and ratify agreement 14891, signed on September 30th, 2022, and approve the remaining 24 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Motion carries.
You're off and running, Katie.
This meeting is in recess.
Good luck.
Well, good morning. The Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Emergency Medical Services District, is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. Could you identify yourself for the record?
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Bill McGrain, Hart.
Okay. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
No changes to the agenda. I'll accept a motion on the Claims Journal.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to authorize payment of claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated September 30th, 2022 regarding EMS expenditures.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay?
Motion carries. We have the minutes to approve. I'll accept the motion on the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have a number of agreements to ratify. Is there any discussion on any of these agreements or any questions?
No, looks like a lot of training site agreements.
Well, and they're all renewals as well.
Exactly. So I'll move to approve the 5 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And now we are favored with an EMS discussion.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, good morning. Not a lot to update you on since last Thursday. It's kind of a short week, but I just heard from Josh that we are nearing substantial completion on the CUNA remodel. Looks like we're going to end up using about 26,000 of the 40,000 total. So that'll be good to get the crews out of those construction trailers and into the building here in a couple weeks. The only other thing I would add is on Friday we have our new hire academy that'll be graduating, and they'll be hitting the streets next week.
Good.
So we had 20 people in the academy, 16 full-time employees, and then 4 of our volunteer reserves actually went through the full-time academy. So they've put in, a 40-hour week for the last 3 weeks, or almost 4 now, to get through that academy. So it'd be good to have those folks out in the field.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
We were having a discussion prior to this meeting, and we may want to have Sean do a follow-up with you. It looks like H&W is dragging their feet on the Medicaid approval. It was supposed to be done in July. Now they're saying, whatever. And so far, that's cost us $4 million. Yeah. So the
I
legislature.
thought we'd hired go ahead.
Yeah, we hired a consultant to get their work done, but welfare's not moving.
Well, give us an update on that, and we'll
Talk to the right people.
talk to the right people in the executive branch of government.
Yep. Yeah, I'll arrange a meeting with Sarah Bettweiser and Chief Michael Best from Lewiston to see what we need to do next, if we need to just go to the governor's office.
Well, there is some accountability there, and we can have the proper discussions to influence the accountability.
Yep.
Because that's absolutely, it's already cost us $4 million, could cost us another 4 or 5. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
and they're telling you that we don't know when we can
They want to regroup in December to figure out when they can do it, which,
That's the exact look on my face. Yeah, exacerbated.
So, they're claiming right now it's because they're in the middle of budget, but we're standing
Like I said,
by.
with Alan
Budget
Bob,
does
it's been
not-
3 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, with Alan Bob, so.
That's crazy. We'll
The bill passed in March, so the work should be done.
pass and sign into law in March. And have they done anything at all since then?
The consultant has done some work.
No, I mean, HW.
No. We've had a couple of meetings.
The governor put his face on that, right?
Yeah.
Big ceremony, and, yeah, but that's not.
If you could send a write-up on that.
Okay.
So I have detailed, and then we'll reach out.
Okay.
All right.
Will do.
Any other discussion, EMS? Oh, you surely have some. What's our average? 3.5?
3.5 still, yep.
Hold and steady.
I did see an article, the UK seeing a surge right now. This last week it was over 20,000 new cases. So, but I haven't seen any detail about what variant it is or how serious the variant is. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Okay. What about our wastewater? Does that have any-
Wastewater data trended up for really the month of July and August. It's trending down now, but it looks like it might be starting to see a little bit of an uptick also. So just kind of a week to week, keep an eye on it, and hopefully we don't see a surge like we did last fall where the hospitals have to get back into crisis standard.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen
I
either.
think we're into
We're out of the woods.
we're into status.
Yep.
It's going to be here. It's going to be anyway. All right. Any other questions of our EMS director? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be.
All right.
Yeah, let us know. If we
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah.